Hey gang, yours truly here with the third installment of the 1976 Bally Old Chicago. Thanks for coming back and checking it out. And this video is going to be something special because I'm doing something different. I'm going to be doing a before and after in the same video. It'll be the before scenes of what it looks like because I did not get a chance to give you a good clear shot in the first video of how it looked because we were just kind of looking through the coin door with the camera. But now the motor board is out of the cabinet and you can see a good look of how dirty it is, which, well, it's pretty dirty, just like the head was. So I'm going to be doing a lot more work than I anticipated on it. But we'll get into that shortly, so why don't you just come along and we'll check it out. And there it is right there. Let's go see it. Alright, here we are at the motor board, and starting off kind of on the score motor side. And if you take a look right here, I have a part. I actually got a couple parts used from a pinball friend, and this one goes to the score motor. Is the bottom plate that holds that screw I was telling you about that I was missing, the hold down screw. So the person who had it gave me the whole piece. So I will determine whether this piece is better than the one that's on the score motor, because I'm going to be breaking that down anyway and getting all those parts and, yeah, the usual evapor rust, you guessed it, and see what cleans up better, and let's go from there. So very happy about that because, as I said in the first video, this little screw here is very hard to come by. I had to ask a friend who had to ask a friend to get this. So don't lose yours. Let's see what else. We'll get this out of the way here. Well, you can kind of see things with the Jones plugs are fine as far as them being intact. And just in general, what we're looking at is some filth. You can kind of see it right in there as I get into it. Yeah, it's kind of just in there, kind of ground in. So, not good. I need to get a vacuum cleaner in here and see what's going on. Try to get some of this up, but it's going to take a wipe down too. I'm going to have to, as you can see with the relays here, because of this fine dust and stuff getting in, I don't usually do it, but I think I'm going to have to take all the relays apart and clean the bodies and everything separately. So that is a lot more work. But with this dirt the way it is, it's just very fine and silty, and it's just a pain, really. You can see the bottom board here has a couple steppers, kind of standard fare here. There's nothing really missing. This here's the lock coil. It's a little toasty, a little bit more toasting I'd like. I'll probably actually get a new coil for that, just because. You don't really need to use those unless you're using the coin door and using coins and that, which I do. So that's important to me. Let's see, as far as score motor switches and that, we got power cable here, which will be replaced with a new one, and you saw that in the first video with the parts I got. I actually have another parts order coming from the Pinball Resource, so you'll be able to see that. We'll go through the box and see exactly what's in it and what kind of fun things I get to replace. So this is going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to take apart these shelves here. There's brackets in there. It could be thrown in the drink, so that's what I call it, or the soup. Just depends on what mode I'm in. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just going to need a lot of help as far as cleaning, and hopefully we can get as clean as what you saw, what I did with the head, so that'll be a good thing. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing really missing or broken on here. You know, it's just kind of the usual what I go through with a motor board. There's nothing that's standing out here that I need to do. I'm sure by pulling apart stuff I will end up probably inevitably pulling on some wires that end up popping off, and I'll have to resolder them.
But there you go. You can kind of see the Playfield in the back there standing up. I really haven't done much with that. The only thing I have done is these metal pieces here have been all cleaned and, you know, gone through the process. I did that just so I can have a head start and kind of look at it and go, well, at least I'm on my way. And with this one I kind of did the same thing. If you notice the handle here, it's actually nice and bright, shiny compared to anything else here. I took that off and actually it got cleaned in that because, like I said, it's kind of an inspiration for me that I see something that's clean and put it back on. I go, okay, I know I can make the rest of this look really good, so it kind of motivates me that way. And on off switch here too, I also took off the plate here and did that one. So you can see how nice and shiny. So I'm sure you guys can see the potential with this. And anyway, that's the before scenes. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like on the after scene. I'm kind of curious myself. Alright, here we are on the inside of the cabinet towards the back here where the Playfield channels go. And this is for the Playfield glass. It secures the glass on the back end. And in the second video I had mentioned about this and some things that were going on, so I kind of want to get into that, so bear with me here. I have camera in hand again. So I was waiting for some parts to come in. They did come in. Part of that was the score motor screw that you saw, but the other part was this right here, which is the L channel, which goes on the top of this part right over here, which goes under what you see the on the bottom there of the cabinet, which is the U channel. So I had one of these already right here, but the problem was someone took a screwdriver to the top part that runs along here because they thought they could pry it up to either help get the glass to move more freely. Maybe it was getting stuck, which sometimes it does. But you know, going to 12 different spots on this thing along the edge here and prying up with a screwdriver was not the proper way of doing things because it bent the piece all the heck. And I don't know if you can really see it here, but there's a waviness to that edge. I straightened out a lot of it. You could really see it. It was way more pronounced before. I straightened it out, flattened it as much as I could, but I just wasn't really happy with this piece. So I contacted my friend, asked him if he had one, and he did. And this is the one I got. Now this has not been cleaned or anything yet, but it is very straight on the edge here. And I was very happy with that. And this thing's going to clean up really nicely. It's about in the same condition as the one that I did clean. This one already went in to evaporust and that and got the mother's chrome polish treatment. So the other one should come out basically the same as this. So very happy with that. That's great. So that's why there was the holdup in the back of not getting this on. Now this U channel back here, this is brand new. I got this off of eBay. Someone was selling one, and what's great about it is it's in stainless steel. It wasn't re-chromed or anything, so it's basically along the lines of the original. And it comes with the holes here at the bottom where you see the rubber grommets. Those are brand new rubber grommets. I was able to get those from Marcos. And tell you what, in the description below, I will list where you can get... Oh no! Well, there's Fumbleina there. I will list where you can get the bar on eBay and the rubbers on Marcos Specialties. And that should set you up, having those links. But you'll definitely need the rubber grommets to complete it. So basically, you know, that's going to go right in there, like so, and then the L channel will go right on top, and we'll be in business. The screws are right there at the bottom, all polished, ready to go. So that's happiness. Here's a quick comparison of what I had versus the new one. So you can see that this thing is extremely rusted, and unfortunately this is the top part. So sometimes you can just flip these over and use this side, which you can see is in really good shape. But the problem is, if I took off the rubber grommets, I got 2 holes on top, and that tells someone who knows better that, hey, you flip this thing, it's upside down, and it's not correct. The average person isn't going to care, but I am, and it's just not right, so that's not going to happen. And if I was going to use this, I'd have to have it re-chromed. Once again, it'd probably be 50 bucks, same as the new piece I bought, plus it'd be chrome versus stainless steel. Stainless steel is more towards the original.
Hey gang, got my new pinball resource order right here. Let's go check it out and see what a little over $100 gets you. Paper, oh boy. Aha, we got a lock coil for the Old Chicago. And there's the beer seal I needed for it. Fuse holders, yes, I need at least one for the Playfield. Maybe one more for the target reset bank. Not sure. We'll find out. I haven't found out the location yet, if there is one. Let's see. Oh, this is a flex file, because I'm still the old-fashioned guy using flex files and ignition files rather than, say, a Dremel. Aha, spring kit. This is for the Williams hotline. I was having an issue with the credit unit, and it just was not accruing the proper amount of games because the spring's too tight. One thing as a note for early Williams games, their steppers in the 60s are really super sensitive. You really need the right springs or else they just don't function correctly. They're the most finicky ones out of any of the major manufacturers. What we got? Wow, we got a bunch of springs, green springs. These are Bally's. This is for the stepper units. I'm going to be replacing pretty much all of the big springs in the stepper units. Oh, there's some black springs in here too. Sorry, clock spring. All the springs are in here. I thought maybe there was another package, but they were just kind of hiding. This is a little tilt ball for the roller ball area inside the tilt board. Look at this. Big giant pack of light sockets. These are the 1 1/4 inch ones. I have 30 of them. Initially I ordered 25, but Jimmy at Pinball Resource said, hey, order a few more and get you 10% off if you order $100 more. So guess what? I put 5 more on there. So got 30. These are not all for the Old Chicago. About 10 of these are going to go on my Bally Expressway because the bonus lights, I'm having problems with them kind of going on and off depending on temperature and that. So they're kind of shot. And the main thing I found out is with games, if you have feature lights or bonus lights in that, the sockets are shot, and you can't read what's going on with your scoring in that and what you need, what objectives you need, it makes the game really not fun because you don't know where you're at and where you're going basically. So all you're basically doing is, you know, flinging around a ball, hitting pop bumpers and targets and that. So that's not a fun game to me. So I always want to make sure that I have those lights working. Just a Mylar. Anyway, that's it. Box empty.
All right, back to the improved and much more clean motorboard. So I'll zoom in here and you guys can kind of see an overlook of it all. But I would say it's much shinier than it was before. Very happy with the way it turned out. Nice shiny relay bodies. And the square motor's looking spiffy there. Okay, so let's go over here on this end. And I took everything off the board, vacuumed it really well, cleaned it all up. Went through the wiring harness with alcohol and Q-tips, paper towels, and got the wiring harness fairly clean. So I'm happy with that. This part here, we talked about it in the last video about replacing it with the new one. Unfortunately, I did not realize that those bottom plates on score motors came in different sizes, so that was new to me, as I never had to change one out before. So the one I received from a pinball buddy was actually shorter than the original one. So this is the original one. I just transferred over the screw here, and luckily I had a retaining clip, the original one, the clip on there, because one was broken. So we're good to go there. Everything worked out fine. This Jones plugs, this standard fare, kind of cleaning these with the Q-tip and that, rubbing alcohol. Going to the relays here, yep, I had to take off all the relay bodies and go through all of them because the dirt was everywhere. I did replace this coil here with a good used one. This is the coin coil. The other one's a little toasty. Coming down here, and this one here I had to replace a switch. I just flip-flopped it because Bally gives you some extra switches that are not used unless you have a 3-coin chute going on your coin door. So I just flip-flopped one with one that wasn't so twisted up. That worked out well. I have a new lock coil here, which I showed you in my parts that I received from PBR. Got that in there. Rest of these, pretty straightforward with just cleaning the switches. I used a Q-tip first, get off all the oil, and then basically a flex file, sometimes an ignition file depending if it was a high voltage contact. A few wires popped up, had to do some soldering on them, popped off I mean. And then no big deal. Then we have the steppers here, fully rebuilt those. You can see the new springs here, green and black. This other stepper here, same thing. Nothing special here, just had to find a machine screw that was missing that was holding down one of them. Kind of minor. See how nice and shiny those are and clean. I just love being able to touch this board now and not get a bunch of filth on my fingers. Always a good sign. Down here we can see got the new power cable in. Good there. And cleaned up the transformer. Some more relays here. All the original coils, everything was fine. Kind of standard fare, just you know, adjusting and all that. Yeah, the score motor here. A lot of switches of adjustment. Tore this whole thing down and went through it, but I think we're squared away now. Oh, and also over here, new fuse block. Got that in. And all the male Jones plugs were cleaned as well. So this thing's ready to go. And here we are with the motorboard inside the cabinet. All strapped in and ready to go. Lots of light here for you guys so you can see how nice it looks in there. And going to zoom up here. You can see I installed the Playfield glass channels. Looking really nice. Everything's adjusted, went in, no problems. I'm going to go over here a little bit. Show you some other stuff I've done. Alright, got the roller tilt ball there. That's installed. And if you look down here, that's our new fuse block that we got in here. So good news there. Have the flipper buttons installed now.
So I think what we're going to do now is go ahead and turn it on and see what happens. And hopefully the good news is everything lights up and does what it's supposed to do. And here we go. We have ignition. Hot diggity dog. Look how nice that back glass looks. Now you remember we set everything to number 1 there. So I'm actually going to do a reset for you guys here. And if everything's done right the first time around, and you hit that start button, it should go through the complete reset cycle. Have no running score motor and no coils stuck on or anything burning up. And if you can get through that, then you know that you're ready to go and start working on the playfield, because you've taken care of a major phase here. So one more little view here with everything, and let's go ahead and start a game. Well, there we have it, folks. Reset complete. All score wheels went to 0. All evenly too, which means everything was adjusted and cleaned properly. We're on player 1 there. Got the game over there. And that's because Playfield's not hooked in and that, so we don't have a complete circuit. So once we hook that up, we'll probably get something. But we can see here that the credit unit decremented. We're down to 0. We had a 1 on there. So that's all functioning. And we even have a match there on the game over. So far so good. I'm happy with that. It's a great start. Doesn't mean everything works perfectly, but means we can reset a game and not have things burning up in the process as well. So there we go, folks, and next video will be of the playfield. I'll do a before and after there, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.